The crew arrived in their T-38 training aircraft from the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. This is a standard operation for the crew to come in about 3 days before launch. Their arrival was again at about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Flying in the lead T-38, of course, is the commander, Andy Allen. And he, flying in the back seat, is one of our astronauts from the Italian Space Agency, Umberto Guidoni. Pilot Scott Horowitz arrived, flying the T-38, and flying in his back seat is mission specialist Jeffrey Hoffman. Claude Nicollier is preparing to make his third trip into space today. Maurizio Kelly, mission specialist, is making his first trip into space today.
We've been kind of busy coming across the Gulf here, but it's a beautiful day to fly, and we look forward to a day like this on Thursday afternoon so we can get back up and go fly again. This time it'll be on Columbia.
The Kennedy Space Center launch team is proceeding with plans to launch the Space Shuttle Columbia, scheduled for liftoff at 3:18 p.m. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 3 hours and holding, and we do have live television of our flight crew on the third floor of the operations checkout building, just departing their suit-up room and making their way toward the elevator, which will take them to the base of the room. There is a wide range of interest on this mission and its international crew. Workers at Kennedy Space Center, of course, are all anxious to see this one go on time today. And the commander, Andy Allen, has emerged from the building, followed by his pilot, Scott Horowitz, and payload commander, Franklin Chang Diaz, mission specialist, Jeffrey Hoffman, mission specialist, Claude Nicollier, Maurizio Kelly, and payload specialist, Umberto Guidoni. Everything continues to go well as the launch team works to finalize all aspects of preparations for the launch of Space Shuttle Columbia at 3:18 p.m. Eastern Time. At this time, the booster test conductor is verifying that the chamber pressures and the solid rocket motors is at the appropriate levels. Also, air-to-ground voice checks have been completed between the crew and mission managers here in the firing room, and the crew cabin closeouts are about to begin. All checks of the payload's instruments have been completed, and engineers and managers are reporting no technical concerns.
OTC, CDR, I'm going to move my seat.
I copy CDR.
Currently at the pad and here in the firing room, all continues to go on schedule for the launch of Space Shuttle Columbia this afternoon at 3:18. At T-minus 1 hour, 27 minutes and counting, this is shuttle launch control. We are continuing with the count.
20 minutes, keep up the please. I copy. TLS is go for orbiter access arm retract.
The orbiter access arm is now being retracted away from the vehicle. This is the walkway used by the crew to gain entry into and out of the vehicle, and it can be returned to position within seconds if need be. T-minus 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and counting. And the gaseous oxygen vent hood is slowly being retracted away from the top of the external tank. We are transferring to orbital internal power at this time. Columbia is now running off its 3 main onboard fuel cells. Coming up for a go for auto sequence start.
TLS is go for auto sequence.
And we have a go for auto sequence start. Columbia's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 20 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have liftoff of the Space Shuttle Columbia, continuing space research through Tether Satellite technology.
Roger roll, Columbia.
Houston now controlling. Columbia rolling on course for a 28.5 degree inclination orbit.
Gauge is showing 45% on the left.
Roger, stand by.
We're still good up there. Okay, Houston, we copy that. It's just a bias on the TC gauge.
And Columbia, you're go at throttle up.
Go at throttle up.
3 engines on board now back at full throttle. The crew reporting a errant gauge on board. However, all indications for the engines are that they're operating well. Again, back at full throttle. Altitude now 69,000 feet. Downrange from the launch pad, 8 nautical miles. Columbia already traveling 2,000 miles per hour. Flight controllers standing by at 2 minutes after launch for burnout and jettison of the twin solid rockets. Booster officer confirms a good separation of the twin solid rockets. Columbia now on its second stage main engines. 3 main engines again operating well at full throttle.
Columbia, performance nominal.
Copy, nominal performance.